Yowie, sports fans, did you see that?
Curses! Some sinister force is upstaging my evil plan! Curses! Curses! Curses!
Hey, I think I'm beginning to deduce what's going on around here.
What is it?
Well, the pattern I've concluded from deductive reasoning is that whoever stole the power gems has some connection to Wumpalewis.
Wumpalewis?
That's affirmative, VC. There's been a trail of Wumpalewis at the scene of every stolen power gem in the park.
That's ridiculous. I mean, who drinks Wumpalewis anyway?
It's you! Oh, Crash! How could you?
Oh, that's it. I have had it. You people are dumber than a sack of hammers. It's me. I tell you. Don't you get it? Me.
Really? My Trolley Park mascot? Don't tell me anymore! I can't hear you! Life is diesen Möwen.
And I would have succeeded, too, if it wasn't for you meddling bandicoots. And now the time is nigh. It's really do or die. This stone in my sack proves Von Clutch is a hack. And you can look for me in the sky. So long, suckers.
But quick! We must stop him! We only have moments left, but I must get my black power gem before I'm kaput.
Rocket!
Hey everyone, welcome back with Beat on Mac, where today we're going to continue our playthrough of Crash Tag Team Racing with the final level, Astroland.
Here we are, sports fans, the last hurrah! Crash Bandicoot has collected the final power gem and won himself the ownership of the park.
But with only a short time left, is it too late to retrieve the black power gem and save the weekend Ebenezer Von Clutch?
Alright, so let's get this whole playthrough underway here. So yeah, like you said, the last hurrah and hoo-wah and whatnot and the hoopla or whatever. I don't know, I think Astroland is an interesting concept, but I don't know. I don't think it really was up to my expectations.
Warning, cosmic travelers. Up here in the dankness of space lies the greatest fears you all will face.
Well, sports fans, welcome to Astroland, where yesterday's dream of the future is the nightmare of today.
Whoa, man! That's what the script says! That's messed up!
Choose from many futuristic adventures by plunging deep into Uranus's mine, or careen through the celestial craters on Uranus, and beware the deadly and dangerous rings of Uranus.
That's a lot of Uranus!
You're telling me.
I don't understand how Von Clutch... Like, I don't understand how he's the one talking when he's apparently dead. I mean, we've seen it. I don't know if that's just a game error or what, but... I don't know. As far as this not living up to my expectations, it's just kind of like you're gonna see that a lot of Astroland is kind of just empty space. It's got quite a few fun little areas in it though, but I mean, you know, as you can see, they kind of just spammed us with the penguins again, of course. But that's just how it is in this game. You know how it goes, fellas, by this point. Toontown, I think, is somehow still just a little bit, a teeny bit worse. But the cramped areas in this kind of make it a little more annoying with the ninja penguins.
Hello there, sir. Step right up and buy yourself a genuine power crystal. Made with only the finest power and crystal, this is a beautiful example of the species and can be yours for only a small sum of coins. There you are, my good boy. Run along now and enjoy this power crystal as I have.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I love how they gave all the freaking drones that work here different voices. Like, I wouldn't say they have like all these unique character traits or anything like that. Obviously they don't. But I mean, it's a nice little detail they could have added, you know, considering if they really wanted to, they could have given them all the same voice and just said, "Oh yeah, we're all brothers" or something like that, which would have been funny. But I like the way they went in this game much better. We're already at the first area, Rings of Uranus. I think it tries to be like a goofy pun, but I don't know. I don't really understand what the rings on your anus, just the obvious pun there. I don't know. I don't really understand what that would be making fun of. The other ones makes a little more sense.
Listen up, furball. If you want to get on Von Clutch's good side, I recommend you get him a present. I can tell you for a fact he likes park souvenirs. Like this. It's got a real nice profit margin on it, and he likes that. Oh, so you ready to deal? Okay, then here's your little butter-up gift. If he doesn't like it, you want your money back? Too bad. Hey, leave me alone. Got it?
The economy in this level is also weird. Like, 2,000, that's it, and it's reasonably priced. But I mean, other outfits in this area are 4,000, 8,000. I think like maybe 3,500 was the most for a costume in Toontown. But I mean, it goes up like it's just all over the place in this level as well. Uranus Mine is probably by far my favorite track name. I'm sorry. I know people like hate that everybody always bitches and whines about the Uranus puns in this, and I get it, but it's definitely childish and goofy. But I mean, come on, Uranus Mine. That one's actually pretty good. I just wish that it actually stood out a lot more, because it doesn't. You're gonna see it doesn't actually feel like much of a mine. But I think if they actually really gone into the...
You there! Buy my power crystal. Buy it, maggot. You have no choice. Give me the money I want. Buy it! Alright, here you go, you lousy bum. Take your crystal and go, like all the others. Just leave me alone with my memories and my medals.
These voices are perfect, but like I was saying, here, I'm gonna put him out of his misery there, folks. I like how even like their voices, like even when you hit them, are even their voices, they have like individual voice lines for taking damage and stuff like that, which is a nice detail there. But yeah, well, yeah, about Uranus Mine, you're gonna see. You're gonna see what I mean. Like, I feel like they should have played into those aspects of like their titles a lot more. Rings of Uranus makes sense, but I don't know. Like Uranus Mine and Craters on Uranus, they kind of seem very samey. And that's just something that I've complained about for the entirety of these videos. You guys know that by now. But I think they could have easily played into it a lot more.
Greetings, Crash Bandicoot. You are seeking a change of appearance that will magnify your persona with the young ones. Am I correct? I believe this hip-hop type of outfit will serve that function nicely. Tender the correct amount of Wumpa coin currency and you will be all that. Congratulations. This is the moment you have longed for. You will be moonwalking and doing the robot before you know it. Word.
If it's not the mad scientist one, it's this outfit that's my least favorite in the entire game. I don't know. I mean, it just doesn't work for me. It doesn't do it for me, I should say. But I gotta buy it anyway. You guys be the judge. Do you think this is a decent outfit? I think it's just stupid, honestly. Goofy over the top. Kind of reminds me of this time when I was like a 18-year-old. Yeah, I think I had to have been 18 at the time. And yeah, I'm an awkward guy. You guys know that watching this. But I just remember at my old job at Wendy's, there's this guy who used to be in the army, and I just went up to him just to like make joke conversation. I was like, "Yo, what up, dog?" And that dude flipped the hell out. He was like, "Oh, do I talk like that? Do I talk like that?" And like he's like, "Well, have some respect for me." I'm like, "Dude, it's just a joke. Relax." And he wasn't like one of those Like, I'm sure you're probably envisioning like an old crotchety guy or whatever. Nah, he was pretty young. He was like in his 30s maybe, not even. I don't know. I'm assuming I just caught him on a bad day, but that always kind of something that I thought was always funny from back in the day. But I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we all know someone who's pretty uptight about that stuff. I wish they had more of these bowling minigames, though. I mean, it's also kind of crazy how they give you... I think the first one is probably the best minigame in the entire game. It's fantastic. And it's like the first one. And then you have to wait all the way till the end of the game to get the second one. I feel like they knew what they were doing in that one. They wanted to build the anticipation. They give you something so fantastic at the beginning. And then you see like, okay, there's another one, but Astroland, and it's like they sucker you in. Oh, so you want to play some more bowling? Get to the end of the game, then we'll talk. That's how it is. Oof, not quite a spare, but we picked it up, I guess. And this one, by the way, like it is, you need only 10 less points. Like the first one you need 150, this one you need 140. Ooh, another strike. But I mean, this one is, I'm making it look a little easy here, but trust me when I say it is hell. It is a much more difficult. The first one was kind of like the beginner, intermediate one. This is like the expert one, of which I am in this game, of course. Ooh, that's a turkey, folks. It ain't no winner chicken dinner. That's just a straight up turkey. This one's probably the easiest, because all you gotta do is just make it, just pretty much, honestly, I figured out on this bowling track and as a whole is just kind of make it like medium to, you know, lower speed, and you'll pretty much be able to get strikes on all these. As well as you need precision, of course, but the speed I think is more important, especially on this one. You want to just go nice and slow so that way you can, you know, guide yourself along through here. Ooh, that's another strike. This one is the most absolute annoying because you have to go slow, and even if you go fast, slow, doesn't matter. As you can see, these things are literally pushing me out of the way. Like, I don't think there's any real correct way of hitting them. Alright. No! I can't believe I didn't even know it was physically possible to stay on the track and miss those. But okay, I guess. Alright, we can't get the spare, but... okay then. And if you're thinking to yourself, wow, you're pretty good at this. You actually got a almost perfect game here. Trust me, I cut out the power of video editing, folks. I'm taking my vengeance on him because I had to play that about like 4 times to be able to actually get that score. I don't know, and I kept failing, and then I don't know, the playthrough you seen was when it just somehow finally clicked with me, and I was able to put it all together for a fantastic bowling playthrough. Oh, I think I see it now. I think I was supposed to jump to another platform before making that, not doing that leap of faith. But yeah, I kind of don't have the patience to deal with these stupid ninja penguins at this point. Yeah, I knew I wasn't gonna make it, but it was too late to change my mind. Alright, so we just gotta head across this path and we'll do the final mini game of the whole playthrough. It's gonna be another protection game. Nothing that you guys haven't seen before. It was pretty difficult the first time I did the protection. I almost just blew that. Because if I missed this jump, if I missed that jump, then I would have had to cut the video to me making it, because Well, I mean, maybe if I was lucky, I would have been able to get out of the way and die or whatever. But you miss that jump and you get on the bottom platform, you're going all the way around again. But the first protection was actually pretty tough for me, so I don't know. I should be good, I assume. It's a lot different though this time, because instead of that submarine thing, we got the freaking drone. Sometimes I feel like they put you on paths and they just, there's not really anything you can do because there's just too much to shoot at, but that's probably just me being inexperienced at this particular minigame and knowing how to deal with that. Alright, yeah, let's look around a little bit and see what's the immediate. Where did they come from? That's what I'm talking about! No! Oh! That was way too close. I don't know why, I keep expecting them to be like diagonal for some reason. Like I was expecting that to come out on the top left. Oh jeez Louise. Oh no! Oh! Oh! Ooh. See, this is what I mean, this is some intense stuff right here. I'm assuming I am assuming that I am supposed to just kind of take out the immediate threats and I'm not supposed to be breaking them up as much, but I don't know, at this point I can't take any sort of chances. Alright, come on, we're almost there. Just a little over 700 points and we win. We got a good multiplier going. Alright, sweet. Oh, we did it. Go! Oh man, I missed one. Oh no, please, no! Woo! Jeez Louise. Speaking of Uranus, these are some anus clenchers right here. These are pretty close calls, I'll tell you what. Alright, we live another wave, Jeez Louise, yeah, there's no way. Oof. That guy just died. That guy just freaking died. Oh well, I got my power crystal, I guess it doesn't matter. Wow, 1,400 coins. That is insane. Like I said, the economy on this level is crazy too. You know, 2,000 for costumes, then you got 4,000, then 8,000. It's actually pretty nuts. But I don't know, I guess the whole economy for this entire game is pretty broken. I think I'm gonna do the stunt challenges first. I don't know what kind of a jump that was. Huh? Okay, this is getting come on! Alright, this is getting a bit ridiculous here, folks. My goodness. There's like something pushing me whenever I jump off of that platform. Man, you gotta keep waiting for these things to take you around. That's why, like I said, this area is just kind of all a big empty space. And it's kind of one of those, Toontown and this place is by far the worst. When it comes to, you know, all that... Man, the penguins in this area glitched, but... When it comes to all of the... I can't think of... All the buttons that you activate, like all the traps and all the platforms that rotate, or not rotate, but they go to other areas and stuff like that. I mean, it's really annoying how, like, after races, you have to reset them and stuff like that. Like, it's a pain in the butt, let me tell you what. In this area in particular, because it's all empty space, it's all waiting, and... Huh. But I don't know, I feel like they should have gone all out on this level, and you know, there's a lot of cool areas. Like, this is kind of a cool side area that leads into the track secret that we just found, but I don't know, it's like, I can't emphasize, look at it, it's just empty space. It should have been like the biggest, most expansive area. Maybe work around, maybe, I don't know, maybe actually, like, even though all these tracks are based off of Uranus, there's not even a planet here. It's just space themed, and I don't know. I mean, I get it, space, tee hee ha ha, look at all this empty space. I don't know, I just think they could have given us more area to explore, you know? Like, it's kind of weird to me. I feel like Happily Ever Faster was probably the best as far as areas that they gave us to explore. Like, it felt like the biggest map, in my opinion, because of all the layers to it. I guess T-Rex and Toontown are pretty big as well, though. Alright, I'm hoping this guy responds. That's usually how it works. But I guess that's my own fault. Please respond. There we go.
Aye there, mate. The captain went off with some dancing green lass, and the only thing they found is a space costume. Go figure. Well, the war core's lit up like a Christmas tree, and I'm the new ship commander. Guess we won't be needing this old thing anymore. She'll look snappy on you, and I'll let you have her for a song.
I'll be honest, I kind of just expected myself to have enough coins, guys. Because I've never had to, this is, other than the Mystery Island before I did the races, I've never not been able to, you know, afford anything that I want. So it's these penguins are in this particular area. I don't remember them being this glitchy. they're kicking that poor guy's butt. My goodness. I don't know. We're just gonna have to go back to that area to get the space crash or whatever it's called. I think it's just kind of like a Star Trek reference. I think that's why that guy has like that accent. I think it's like I'm assuming they were trying to pay homage to Scotty from Star Trek. I actually watched the original. I never really watched too much Star Trek. I think I watched Into the Darkness. That was like 10 years old. I had like that hot blonde chick in it. But other than that, I've watched a few episodes of the original series from like the 70s with my pops, because he liked it. And I mean, I'm sure it was cutting edge back in the day, but I mean, nowadays it's still entertaining. But for me personally, I find it entertaining in the sense of just how hilarious it is with their effects and all the goofiness with like them and their fights and the rolling around and William Shatner and stuff. Not the actual. The stories are pretty entertaining too. Campy though.
Okay, hold the phone, sweetie. You look like a Bandicoot in need of a fashion overhaul. Drone eye for the Bandicoot guy, honestly. Fur, eyebrows, are we kidding? In today's world, wouldn't you rather be wearing, I don't know, something like this?
Wow, I was honestly not expecting a, I'm pretty sure that's a Queer Eye for the Straight Guy reference. I mean, it's gotta be. I mean, not just the voice, but I mean, come on, the drone eye for the Bandicoot guy. Alright. That is crazy. I've never seen that show. I like that opening theme, though. All things just keep getting better. But, once again, that's a weird reference to put in like a 2005 kids game. I don't know. The most I know of that show is like back in the day, South Park made an episode of featured them because I guess like I don't really know exactly what it was trying to like the message of that show episode was, but I guess it was like gay was popular in South Park or something like that. I think it was metrosexual. I didn't really understand it. But I don't know, I'm an uncultured swine, so that's probably why. But it was a pretty good and funny episode. I think that was, I'm not 100% sure, but I think that was the first episode with the crab people too, if I remember correctly. And I think the whole point of those guys was that the creator said if they couldn't figure out how to end an episode, that they would just end it with the crab people. So I think that was the first time they ever did it. And that's awesome in and of itself. South Park is such a fantastic show. Also, this is a fantastic stunt arena. It's kind of repetitive. I mean, I think all of them, well, both of them are kind of repetitive. But, I don't know. I think if they had bigger areas, as well as more areas, you know. I mean, I mentioned in a previous episode there's actually pretty much right now there are just 2 hidden battle arena areas to fight in based off of Toontown and Happily Ever Faster that is pretty much on the disc. You're just not allowed to play it, as along with a bunch of like cars that are unused. But I don't know, I guess they didn't have that for the stunt arenas. But I mean, I don't know. I mentioned in the previous episode, I think it's so lame that I hate things where there's content on the disc that you're just not allowed to access without without going through some sort of nonsense where you have to pay extra money. Like, DLC is different. I mean, there are definitely times where you can tell, like, okay, this should have been in the base game or whatever. But, they decide to make a DLC, which is always pretty lame, but, whatever. It just is what it is, but the worst case of DLC I remember was, I think it was a big controversy back in my day, was they made the Street Fighter X Tekken, and that was like supposed to be a pretty big game. I remember when it came out. It was even going to eventually have a Tekken X Street Fighter variation, because the one that came out was based off of the Street Fighter engine, but they wanted to make one where it was based off of the Tekken engine too. I don't think they got very far in it at all, though. I'm assuming it just didn't it wasn't as big as they thought it was going to be, and it didn't make as much money as they thought it was going to be. Which is too bad, because it was actually a pretty solid game. It was probably I don't know, either that or Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was probably my favorite variation of the Street Fighter games. I'm not a big Street Fighter fan, but I like other games where they base it off of that kind of fighting style, the classic 2D formula. But yeah, that game in particular, people found out, like, hey, the DLC here, it's available straight on the disc, but you literally have to pay to unlock it. You're not really downloading anything. And I remember that was such a big controversy. That's probably something, I don't think it was the big thing, the reason why it wasn't a success. That's probably something that definitely did not do it any favors, and why it didn't do too well in the overall grand scheme of things. Or at least as big as they had hoped. But I mean, come on, that's such a scummy practice. That was back when people love Capcom now, and they're doing a fantastic job, don't get me wrong, but I mean, I think stuff like that should always prove to everybody that game companies are not your friend. They're here to make you a product, and they're here to make money. And obviously they're going to listen to you, because I mean, the more stuff they listen to you on, the more likely you are to buy and stuff like that. And they want to act like your friend and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, Capcom back in the 2010s, I mean, they were not consumer friendly at all. It felt like a lot of people did not like the stuff they were doing. And they kind of wanted to take things in their own direction rather than listen to fans in a lot of ways, which I liked Resident Evil 6, and that was kind of one of the things people didn't like around that time. But, hey, I mean, you got to listen to your fans, even with this game, like I mentioned. I mean, a lot of Crash fans didn't like it. I love it. I understand that. So, I mean, I'm not one of those people where, oh, well, it's not made for you, yada, yada. No, I mean, it's a business.
Hey, pal, I know you're looking for power crystals. Well, I got the right one here. It's a good one, too. It smells like cinnamon, so, it's good.
Okay, quick, just take it before someone catches me selling this thing.
I do have more to say on this particular topic, but I'll talk about it more after this cutscene with the outfit.
Now that's more like it, laddie. Maybe you'll be lucky and find a green lass of your own with that suit. Okay, beam me up, me. Shut up, laddie.
But I mean, you know, even if I like something and other people don't like it and it doesn't do successful, I mean, that's kind of tough crap for me, you know? There's a lot of games where that's the case for me. But I mean, if you're a business, you know, you need to make something that appeals to the mass audience. And it sounds like that's something that a lot of companies are having trouble with now. Which I don't think it's entirely due to the game developers, it's because of the business side of gaming. And, you know, unfortunately, a lot of unfinished games are getting released and all that sort of stuff, so... But, I mean, there's another thing. I mean, I think there's a lot of people online, companies saying, oh, well, our game didn't do good. It's up to the consumers to do their job and help us out. Help us out and make us, you know, look good with sales and this and that. Or saying, you know, you can't just say, like, a game like, oh, yeah, well, the audience isn't for you. Well, if your audience isn't buying it, then you're not doing your job, you know? I don't know, I probably explained that very poorly, but there's a lot of games, like, you know, with Dustborn, I think is a good example. Their kind of whole excuse is, well, you know, this is for a different audience, and so that your audience didn't buy the game, guys, you know? If you're a Dustborn fan, good for you. I mean, this is once again, this game in particular is a perfect example of something I love that not a lot of other people like. So as much as I like this game and its direction and all this sort of stuff, it's definitely a massive departure from the rest of the Crash Bandicoot series, and people didn't like that, as well as a lot of the mechanics and stuff like that. So I mean, as much as it appeals to me, it doesn't appeal to the mass audience, and I can accept that and understand that. I'm appreciative that I have this game to enjoy. But for me to say that other people are wrong for not enjoying it, that's just nuts. And I mean, I'm not a business owner, you know, I'm just talking on my opinion here, but if you're a business owner and you're not making products that people want to buy and enjoy, it's not their fault that you're not fulfilling your job as owner of the business and, you know, creating things. So I mean, I just hate it when, like, people, you know, the fans are being blamed for that. In my opinion, you know, I don't really like to talk about politics or anything like that, and I don't even know if this is... Yeah, it does relate to politics a little bit, but when it comes to woke people and anti-woke people, I think they're the loudest on the internet, and, you know, the thing is with them is, yeah, usually the people that are the loudest, you know... Jeez, I don't even... Let me rephrase that, I'm sorry. The minority people are usually the loudest, right? So even though it seems like there's a lot of them and whatnot, it really isn't as many as you seem. Like, unfortunately, with the woke side, yes, there are people that don't care, they just want to push their agendas. And as far as the anti-woke, yeah, unfortunately, there are a lot of people that just are terrible racist people that don't care and won't look into something. They just look at it and see, you know, maybe a black person as the lead character or something like that, or maybe a woman that doesn't have massive breasts and think, oh, well, this is woke nonsense, when it really isn't. And that's just unfortunately how a lot of people are, you know. It's just, I think both sides are equally bad, but I think that because of the internet and, you know, once again, loudest people, minority, you know, they make it seem like it's a bigger deal or whatever when it's not. And, you know, unfortunately, both sides act like the majority of people when something doesn't go right for them, that...
Very good, sir. This is just the look for you. Elegant yet commanding for the mutant on the go.
That the reason why their product failed, you know, like Dustborn, they're blaming it. It's just a bad game. You can tell by looking at it. You know, it was definitely a woke game. And if you like it, I mean, good for you. Once again, but at the same time, yeah, it's clear as day what it is, and people don't like it because of that. Plain and simple. And there's just not really much to play there. But I mean, as far as the anti-woke people, like, once again, I mean, if you ask them, I mean, they probably think that the woke people, even though it's only really a few games in the industry, that they're destroying the industry as a whole. But I don't know. I mean, I think it's just an issue of, like, both sides are kind of the issue at times. But I think I pretty much explained my point at this point. It's just kind of all over the place, but you guys are used to that. You know, try and piece it together if you can. But my whole thing is I just want a fun game. And for me, sometimes it's story, sometimes it's gameplay, sometimes it can be both. But I don't know, I mean, did she just disappear on the track, or am I nuts? You guys seen that, right? I don't know what just happened, but whatever the case, I don't know. I think I made my point on this whole topic. I don't know if it's like real big politics. What is going on right now? Come on! Oh my goodness. That was one of the craziest things I ever seen. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't really like to talk about politics, but I mean, it relates to games in particular and my thoughts on them. But I don't know. I'd like to hear what you guys think about that whole topic. Once again, I think it's just minorities as far as, you know, the anti-woke and the woke and stuff like that. But I think they're just the loudest, and I think that's not just with video games, that's everywhere. I like to just, you know, go off of the common man's opinion, you know, that's how I feel I am. And I don't really care what your political beliefs are, and, you know, if you have different opinions on things and stuff like that, you know, I mean, that's just life. You gotta get used to dealing with people who don't agree with you on everything, or anything, really. But, I mean, I love, you know, if you got something to say in the comments, I'd love to debate with you about what you think about the current state of the gaming industry, or your thoughts on it. You know, feel free to share down below. But I don't know, I keep yapping on about this whole topic and whatnot. I'm sorry, but I've definitely ran it into the ground at this point. But sometimes, like, I want to say something, and it's like, okay, did I cover every little detail of something that I wanted to say, and it's like stuck in my head for like a minute, and it's like, okay, let me repeat myself so that way I can make sure I got all my stuff out and all that other stuff. And I apologize. I always apologize for, you know, you guys who have watched me consistently. I always apologize for I'm sure you're annoyed with it, with me just going on rants and rambles and incoherent statements and repeating myself and stuff like that. So I don't know, it's just a part of who I am. I accept it. Hopefully you do too. Hopefully you can find some entertainment in it. Hopefully you're laughing your ass off right now. I don't mind. But I hope it doesn't deter your enjoyment of my videos. But as far as this track goes, this is Uranus Mine, which I still love that name. I don't care what anybody says. But, like, alright, well, I guess I can see the mine part of it, but it doesn't feel like it's... I don't know, like, it just doesn't feel as spectacular as it should. Does that make sense? Like, it feels like you're outside more often than not. How did... I don't understand how this game works sometimes. I could have swore I propelled myself forward and I was clashing with engine. But maybe that's not the case. Engine's car looks pretty... goes well with this backdrop as well, but when it comes to Uranus Mine, I don't know, like, it just doesn't feel like they went all in on the theme. It just feels like they're trying to give you the overall theme of Astroland. Like, it feels like you only go through those tunnels like once or twice. I don't know. That is one thing I gotta say is this game, once again, the tracks just don't stand out as well as they should. I wouldn't have minded like one track that was just called Astroland or something like that, and had this kind of theming, and then the rest could have been something. I mean, like, have one where you're in a spaceship or something, you know? That would have been cool. 49, just one under. So close. I should have destroyed Crunch before or Nina, I mean, before I finish the race. Craters on Uranus. See, this one's, it's kind of funny, but no, I'm sorry, Uranus. I just have a very juvenile sense of humor, so that's why I think that Uranus Mine is the best. Reminds me of that Ferris Bueller's Day Off scene where the principal's in the arcade and he thinks he found Ferris skipping school and whatnot, but it's really a girl, but he gives this whole speech of like, hey, you know, Uranus is your ass is mine or whatever, and then the girl he turns around and is a girl and she spits his drink at him. That's partially why I like it so much. But like, I don't know, I'm assuming we're racing in the craters on Uranus, or
You are just too slow, silly monkey.
it just kind of looks like a generic gobbledygook to me. But I'm sorry if I'm probably insulting a few people's favorite tracks here. But you know, like I said, it's just my opinion. Or as Phantom Strider would say, my silly little opinion. I gotta wonder, what is the point of these teleporters here? Like, it's a cool visual and all that stuff, and I do like how they made it, you know, a factor of the map. There's definitely a lot of uniqueness to this one. Once again, the third map always seems to stand out the most. Maybe I think Rings of Uranus stands out the most in this set of tracks, just because of how it's just 9 laps, and they have the whole thing of, you know, it's just a big circle and stuff like that, but this one does a decent job just because of the few set pieces they have. But I don't know, like I said, I think after Tyrannosaurus Rex, the uniqueness of all the tracks really starts to go. I think this game kind of peaked in Happily Ever Faster. That's definitely just my favorite level at this point, especially after analyzing all the stuff through this replay. I love how, oh man, I missed them. I love how they put the drones working on the tracks and you can run them over. I think you get, I can't remember, do you get I think you might get power boost or, you know, speed boost from running them over too. Poor guy's just trying to go about his day and you run him over. I guess this track, in all fairness, is kind of more alien themed. It's tough to see everybody past my black smoke though. Golly gee whiz.
More goodness for
Although this part of the map can kind of be trippy sometimes. Not gonna lie. I should probably switch out and try and get that power crystal now. Although I haven't been very good at doing that since, like, I think the first level I always have to keep replaying them. Which is probably going to be the case here because I'm so focused on winning. And as you can see, I mean, the game, it has like some crazy rubber band in this game. I mean, that's just how racing games are though. I think there's like no rubber banding on like easy mode or something like that though. Like, I'm pretty sure I've overlapped other characters on easy mode, but that's why we're playing on hard with the big boys. Oh jeez, I hate when we bump into something and my camera freaks out. I wanted to take out that stupid spaceship. But now I'll never win.
Be firm, you know? Fine, power crystal.
I just love freaking throwing the cows and the submarines at him. It's so satisfying. Especially in multiplayer when I'm playing with friends.
Oh, mine! You can't have it!
Although that's been a long time. This used to be one of my favorite games to do multiplayer with my buddy George.
Enjoy your screaming doom!
Alright, we're gonna try and get this now. But yeah, we used to play all the time, and
That's
sometimes
what
we'd
I'm
clash
talking
together.
about.
I'd always usually win. That's probably why I enjoyed it so much. Alright,
A little taste of doom.
where is it? Don't tell me somebody else went that way.
More! Shoot
Gosh,
more
dang
lovely
it.
weapons at me.
Yeah, the multiplayer in this is fun too. 'Cause I wish he had started with more characters. Like, I wish he would have started with all the characters, but it's just fun to play through, and it's kind of like this game. And the single player in a way, you just have to unlock everything, and I don't know. That just kind of made it exponentially more fun because it felt like we were achieving a goal together. But here we go. I'm just gonna showcase me getting it this time. Because, I don't know, I'm assuming somebody somehow went through this shortcut and stole the power crystal from me. Which is lame. I didn't even know they could do that, to be honest. But unfortunately, you know, now that we're older now, you know, me and my buddies aren't always able to play. He's got like a kid and stuff now. You know, that's just how life works. So, unfortunately, you know, and we used to hang out literally every day. He practically lived at my house, so it's too bad that, you know, it was this. I think Grand Theft Auto was something, you know, it was the kind of friendship where, like, we didn't even have to play the games all the time together. We just kind of, it was just nice to hang out and stuff like that. One of my best friends ever. So if you're somehow ever actually watching this, you know, George, you know, hope you're doing well. Shout out to you. Still love you, brother. But, yeah, it's just life, you know, people have to grow up and stuff like that. I just chose not to. So I'm just playing games on YouTube now. But if you're wondering what's going on, by the way, I just kind of wanted to finish my whole spiel before I went on. You need, as you've seen earlier in the level, you need 20 power crystals to continue. I spent, I didn't show it, I actually cut it out of the video. I was thinking about showing it, but it just kind of took up a bunch of time. There's no cutscenes for it. I spent a bunch of the power crystals on all the upgrades for the weapon upgrades. As you can see now, Crash, he has, like, you know, at the start of this video, he's been having 5 Wampa fruits instead of 1 shot and all that other stuff. So I fully upgraded all the weapons, and, you know, it costs 1 power crystal each, and there's 2 tiers you have to buy with the power crystal. So what, that would be 16, I think, overall. So we are just a few short. We were 5 short, so I'm just doing some of the side games because I kind of exhausted all the resources. I think there's like 1 or 2 power crystals on the map I may have forgotten, but I can't remember if I did or not. So we're just doing some of the side modes. Eventually I'm going to do the side modes, just like a compilation of me playing them one by one, doing commentary over that. But I just decided to do a different variety of the games here for you folks. So like Rolling Thunder, last one was Run and Gun, this is Fast Lap. And I accidentally actually did, even though I only needed 5, I did 6. So I thought about cutting the 6th one out, but I figured, you know, people would be wondering why I have an extra power crystal. But, you know, it's no big deal, you know, just something extra for you folks, I guess. Jeez Louise. Fast Lap is definitely by far my weakest mini game. Because, I mean, I'm used to just you guys seeing every single race. I'm just the gunner, so I'm not very good at it. But you can kind of cheat with the early maps just because you can set the change the speed to insane instead of, you know, what it would be when you first did the level, like normal speed and Mystery Island, or faster and happily ever faster or whatever. So you can kind of cheat and stuff like that. They're very forgiving. But once you get to Tyrannosaurus Rex, it kind of ramps up, and Rings of Uranus, crazy. Trying to play some of my favorite maps here, the ones that I feel like are the most unique, so that way, you know, give you guys a little variety, a little bit of memory and nostalgia for, you know, the videos, you know, just going back down memory lane of some of the best tracks here for you folks. But I don't know, Coco's I think probably definitely has the worst gun, because like I'm just holding it down at this point, because like I tried to just shoot by using the aiming, and like I don't know, it's weird aiming in my opinion. Like it's just, it feels like I'll be shooting perfectly at it and it doesn't work, so whatever, I guess. Holding down the A button and aiming somewhat well does the trick. Crashinator. This is a pretty interesting mini game. You don't have to finish the lap, but you do have a time limit with it. Jeez Louise. Hey, I mean, if it was dodging the obstacles, I would have done pretty well right there. I think there's data in the code to suggest there may have been something like that. It was like, I forget what the title was called. I read about it like earlier today. It was like something to do with cones, and like it's an unfinished mini game that's just like cones that randomly appear. I'm assuming it was something in which they probably would have put cones on the map and you would have had to avoid them. I can't really make out from the video what the object is. I don't think anybody does. But it would have been interesting that there would have been a 6 little mini game you can do here. I think it would have been cool if they had multiplayer for some of these as well. You know, like a multiplayer running gun where you're kind of facing each other or something like that. Or if they had like a Crashinator in which you're both trying to get just do a quick lap and trying to get whoever gets the most hit wins and stuff like that. But oh well. Alright, so the last one, I believe this is the last one we're going to be doing here, is Rolling Thunder. Rolling Thunder is by far my favorite. Just because, you know, I love, the thing I love about this game as a whole is just shooting and destroying vehicles, so fan-frickin-tastic idea. I like the ones where like I destroy a vehicle and there's supposed to be something that's said, but there's just nothing, no text underneath it. I always thought that picture of Crunch was so weird. Like it doesn't look like him in the game. I don't know. Like right there. As you can see, like especially when you have the upgraded weapons, I mean this is easy peasy lemon squeezy, piece of pie. You guys know how it is. I mean, one thing that is for sure about this game as a whole, it is an easy one. I remember before I was even good enough to beat the races, because I never understood the idea of clashing when I was a kid for some reason. When this game first came out, for some reason I just kind of grasped the concept of, hey, when we're coming up to the finish line, escape early, because your opponent's going to do it before you if you don't. But Rolling Thunder was kind of my main way of getting the power crystals until I eventually got to, I think, this level, and I had to start winning the races. But we'll take out these penguins. Ooh, ooh, ooh! We got him with a 4 combo. The 4 Loco. Here we go. Don't worry, folks. I think even if we leave the level and come back, he won't be able to get away, but I'm not going to try it. But once we pull that lever, that's going to be all she wrote for this episode other than the ending cutscene, so stay tuned for that. But I'd like to take this time to thank you all for watching. Make sure to check out next week's episode as well. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe, but above all else, please remember to have a nice day.
Come on, don't do this to me!
Alrighty, you sour fruit. Hand over that black power gem.
Hey! Who you callin' sour?
Oh, man! That wretched Bandicoot foiled my plan for this amusement enterprise as the ideal strategic cover!
Yes, my lord.
Stop having fun! Obliterate them! I hate chicken. We'll meet again, Crash Bandicoot!
And to the victors go the spoils. Congratulations, Bandicoots!
Thank you, Mr. Chicken Man. This is really cool and stuff, but we'd like to return the park ownership where it belongs, to Ebenezer Von Clutch. That there's right darn neighborly of ya. But I don't think it's gonna do him no good. Now that his black power gem is gone, it's time for old Ebenezer to drive that demolition derby in the sky.
Good save!
The Lima! I'm feeling wonderful! Yeah! Crash, my boy! I owe it all to you! Danke schön! In fact, 3 lifetime passes to all the Bandicoots! Yeah! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip!
Dun, 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 dun.
Bye.